In the quiet town of Mill Creek, Pennsylvania, there's an old stone chapel that everyone avoids after dark, St. Mary's Hollow. Its bell tower hasn't rung in over 50 years, not since the lightning strike that killed the pastor during Sunday service. They say the bell cracked that night, splitting straight down the middle. But some folks claim it still rings. Not often, just once in a while, usually past midnight, when the fog rolls down from the river. Locals whisper that if you hear it, you're hearing your own death being announced. For years, no one dared go near it, until one fall evening, Eli Mercer, a college student studying folklore, decided to prove it was all just superstition. He'd heard the stories his whole life and thought it would make a perfect topic for his thesis, The Bell That Rings Itself. Eli arrived in Mill Creek just before dusk, the sun bleeding out behind the hills. The town looked half abandoned. Boarded windows, cracked sidewalks, the air heavy with wood smoke and rain. He parked near the cemetery beside the chapel, the bell tower rising like a shadow against the sky. The place felt older than time. Weeds grew through the headstones, and vines crawled up the church walls. The iron gate creaked as he stepped through. He laughed nervously, recording on his phone. October 12th, 11:48 p.m. No signs of life, he narrated. The bell hasn't rung since 1971. He set up a small tripod and aimed his camera at the tower. The silence pressed in, thick and suffocating. Somewhere far off, an owl called. Then faintly came a low, metallic hum, like something deep inside the tower was shifting awake. The first bell strike came at 12:01. It wasn't loud, more like a moan than a ring. The sound vibrated through the ground, slow and heavy, echoing off the gravestones. Eli froze. His phone showed the time clearly. The bell rope inside the chapel swayed gently, though no wind moved. "That's impossible," he whispered. He stepped closer, recording everything. The second toll came, louder this time. Dust sifted from the rafters. He climbed the narrow wooden stairs to the tower, each creak groaning under his weight. The air grew colder the higher he went. At the top, the cracked bell hung motionless. The rope dangled limp beside it. But when he touched the metal, it was warm, pulsing, almost like it was breathing. He heard footsteps below, slow, deliberate. "Hello," he called out. No answer. The sound of movement stopped, then resumed. This time, coming up the stairs. Eli backed against the wall, his flashlight flickering. The third toll shook the whole tower. His phone screen glitched, the camera cutting out for a split second. When it came back, the feed showed something behind him. A tall figure at the top of the stairs, head bowed, face hidden by shadow. "Who's there?" Eli demanded. No response. The figure lifted its head, revealing empty sockets where eyes should have been, and a mouth stitched shut with wire. The bell tolled again, so loud it rattled his teeth. Eli stumbled down the steps, his phone clattering behind him. He burst through the church doors and into the graveyard, gasping in the cold air. The night was silent again. No footsteps, no ringing. He turned back toward the tower and saw light flickering inside, as if from hundreds of candles. He approached cautiously, his camera still recording. Through the cracked door, he saw pews filled with unmoving shapes, outlines of people seated, heads bowed. For a moment he thought it was a trick of the light, until one of them turned its head toward him. Their faces were gray, stretched tight, eyes wide open. In the pulpit stood the figure from the tower, one hand gripping the bell rope. Its head tilted, and through the stitched mouth came a faint wheezing laugh. Then the bell tolled again. Eli ran. He didn't stop until he reached his car. His hands shook as he fumbled for the keys. When the headlights flicked on, they illuminated a shape standing in the middle of the road. Tall, draped in black, the broken bell rope dangling from its hand. The sound came again, not from the tower this time, but from somewhere inside his car. A deep metallic tone that vibrated in his chest. He looked down at the dashboard. The radio was off, yet the sound pulsed from the speakers in perfect rhythm with his heartbeat. He floored it out of town, not daring to look in the mirror. The bell rang once more as he crossed the bridge, softer now, like a farewell. A week later, police found Eli's car abandoned at the edge of the river. Headlights still on, doors locked from the inside. His camera was recovered from the passenger seat. The final frame showed the empty church, and faintly, if you turn the volume all the way up, the sound of a bell ringing 13 times. Locals say it hasn't rung since, but sometimes, when fog settles over Mill Creek, you can hear it echo faintly across the water. And every time it tolls, someone in town goes missing before morning. No one dares count the rings anymore.